Yo, y'all already know, man. Y'all already know it's We Locked In. Back at y'all with another one. I told y'all to put the notification bells on. We told y'all we got another fire story, man. What's up, fellas? What's going on, man? Yo, peace, bro. What's up? Peace, y'all.
What's happening, man? Salute.
Y'all already know, man. We got another one for y'all, man. We got the bro, VI, Vincent Warren, the author of Hosetta. We got his story, and him telling his road to redemption back, and him dealing with post-traumatic gang syndrome. So that's what we doing today. That's what's going on today, man. We we got a good show for y'all as always, man. I told y'all, man, y'all better put them, put y'all questions in the chat. Y'all know what we do with that. But yo, what's up, Mo? What up, KK, man? Talk to the peoples, man. What's going on?
Nah, man, it's just amazing, man. I mean, that the brother is even coming out, man, because this is a serious topic, man, a serious issue, and it's he come out, man, and congratulate him, because now I'm starting to get a little choked up just even thinking about it, man, and just how much thinking about what I actually went through and how many other brothers went through it and didn't know how to express it, or didn't feel comfortable expressing it with anyone, and having the guts, you know what I'm saying, to be vulnerable, you know what I mean, and having the guts to even, come out and even say certain things, man, and how a person personally was affected, by gang culture, by living that life, by, being in the trenches all the time, on go time all the time, and actually what that does to you, and it's crazy, man. Other than that, man, just trying to enjoy, guys, that, man, just trying to enjoy life, though, man. I was spending some time with the family today, just eating, man, just trying to get things right, trying to get this thing out. Polo Billy, shout it out, bro. What is going on, though, man?
Y'all already know, man. What's up, Mo?
Nah, I'm chilling, man. Man, shout it out to y'all, man. Shout it out to everybody that's tuned in to We Locked In. KK, we getting feedback from your phone. Shout out to everybody that's tuned in to We Locked In. Y'all already know, man. Thank y'all for being out there. For taking this Sunday night to be with us. Tonight we got as Mikey B stated and KK alluded to as well, we have somebody who we've known for a very long time, all of us since we've been kids.
Right.
You can say that literally we were raised together in prison. And the reason why I'm sure people would like to ask, why is it that you guys are always bringing up people from, your prison experiences? And the answer is simple. Because we spent majority of our years in prison. And there are some unique stories that we want to share with you guys in hopes that you can get an opportunity of being exposed to who we are or what our experiences were, how we came to know one another, but also what we actually had to endure while we were there. It wasn't always about putting in work and the stories that you like to hear and all the stuff that you might hear on YouTube and how many people you stabbed, and you stabbed 85 people in their eyeballs, and you took 15 batons from the officers, and you ran in the bubble, and you shot up the jail, and all that's fine and dandy, right? But the reality is that, we don't really tell you the human stories of what's going on inside of individuals' minds and their hearts, and what they actually went through, and how much time individuals put in, and the loved ones that they lost, and the years that were wasted away inside these penal colonies. So I think what we try to share with you guys is that there's a more humanistic experience that's equally significant that we should be sharing, to show individuals that, listen, prison is serious. When you make horrible choices, it could ultimately lead to you spending countless time in prison. So we speak to not only that experience, but we also talk about the fact that we were a part at one time. All of us, we're no longer, thankfully, a part of a gang subculture that also took a lot out of our experiences, or gave us a lot of experience, but took a lot from us as people. So we like to share that with individuals and let the real come from that. But tonight, as I mentioned, man, we have a brother, his name is Vincent V.I. Warren. He spent over 24 years in prison. He's from out of the Bronx. He's a certified G. He's our brother, but he's gonna come up here. He's gonna share his story with you guys. He's an author. He is somebody who we love and we value his experiences and things that he says. You know what I'm saying? So we want to introduce you guys to him so that he can share his experiences of all of the pain that he had to go through. I'm telling you, he got a bombshell that he's gonna drop on you guys tonight, and it's some serious stuff about the harms associated with the life that we chose to live, and we hope that you guys can gain some benefit from that. But without further ado, let's just bring Brother VI in and let's get right to it.
Right. Share the live, y'all. Make sure y'all share the live, man. You know, like Mo said, you know, VI came with us. So without further ado, like Mo said, you know, this is Vincent Warren, you know, aka VI.
Yeah. All right, bro. How y'all doing? First, I want to start off by, you know, apologizing to the people I hurt. Because, you know what I mean, a lot of times we tell stories about the things we have done in our life, but we neglect to recognize the damage that we cause in our communities and the people's families. You know what I'm saying? Because crime is not victimless. And sometimes I reflect that the time that I caught this case, where I actually committed this case, I'm not one of them guys that went to jail and said, I ain't do it. I did what I did. You know what I'm saying? I paid severely for it. But every time that day come, the day that I committed this crime, I think about this guy's kids, man, how they growing up without their father. You know what I'm saying? His parents without their son, his sisters without their brother. So I would like to extend the deepest apology to the people that I hurt along the way. I know it's no bringing back the person whose life I took, but I just want the world to know and the victim's family to know that I deeply apologize for what I've done, and if there's anything that I can do to not make you whole, but bring some type of closure to the situation, I'm more than gladly will be able to do it. You have to reach out to the crime victims unit, and then you go through them, and then they could come to me, or whatever will make you feel comfortable with talking to me. I would like to have that discussion with you.
Yeah, that's peace, bro. That's peace, man. We appreciate that, man.
Yes, sir.
That's accountability. That's a responsibility. You know what I mean? You changed your life. You know, you out here doing different things than you did when you committed that crime. So, you know, your apology is sincere just from that focus alone. You know what I mean? A lot of people, you know, try to make apologies and they show their insincerity due to the fact that they still, you know, doing the same things they did when they committed these crimes and, you know, hurt these families. But, you know, your case is a lot different because, you know, like you said, you know, you changed your life. You're no longer doing the things you do. And, you know, you take responsibility for the things that you have done and you apologize for them. You know what I mean? You know, hopefully the family can understand that. Hopefully they accept your apology. And, you know, the community can heal.
Yes, sir. I would like to say, right, that I became a gang member at a young age, right? At the time, 1994, when I was on Rikers Island, so a lot of these the Spanish gangs, like, was putting a lot of pressure on the brothers. And even though I wasn't officially like blood, nobody officially brought me home. I just said I was blood. I said, yo, you know why I'm blood? Yeah, I'm a gang.
What year was that?
This was 1994. 1994, I was a two-upper.
Two-upper where?
The chop shop. C94, Rikers Island. At the time, Fort Maine, they you know, the Latin Kings and the Yetas, they wasn't playing no games, and they was taking the young brothers that was adolescent adults, was pulling us on a visit. And you think you go up there to see your family, these grown ass men, excuse my language, attacking you. You know, there was a lot of extortion going on. So that's why I originally became a gang member. I didn't know anything about what blood stood for, how to give back to the community. I didn't know none of that. All I knew was I was outnumbered, and I had some black people on the same type of time I was on, and I wanted to join with them for strength, for numbers. So I wasn't one of them guys that said I wanted to be a revolutionary or I want to change the community. I was one of them guys that said I want to put some work in. Like, I want to hurt somebody because I was hurt. Hurt people. And that was my introduction into blood. But as the years went along, around 1998, it became like you had to verify who brought you home. It was no longer saying, I'm Damu. And no, you had to know things. You had to know your rules. You had to know the Constitution. You had to know all that other stuff. And that was officially introduction into blood, Valentine blood, at that particular time. So
what year was
that was in late 1997, going into 1998.
Where were you at when you turned Valentine?
I was in 2A in HDM. Facts. Big Shaolin. That's who brought me home.
Shaolin bring you home?
That's a fact. Actually, Latrice brought me home. Latrice brought me home
from the Bronx.
Shaolin made official because Latrice ain't give me nothing. He just brought me, put me in the whip, said the oath, but I ain't have no papers, I ain't have no pledge, I had no constitution, I had nothing to verify that I was blood because, I mean, anybody could say they blood, right? Your mother could say she blood, but what makes them blood, right? Like a doctor could say, I'm a doctor, but you need some type of certification. If you don't know certain things, you can't be a doctor. You could profess to be anything. So you can't say you blood if you don't know the oath. You can't say you blood if you ain't living by that constitution. You just a dude that's claiming blood. You're not really Damu. And I ain't know that at the time. But that's what made me blood, by learning the things that I needed to know to become blood. But I had a problem not with reading, but I had a problem memorizing things. So what I did was, so a person will ask me, who brought you home? You know, I just started doing what I do. Like at that particular time when I was young, I was just what they call putting in work. So I was doing things to put my name up. So when somebody see me, they didn't have to question me and ask me certain things that I was supposed to know at the particular time, right? So, but my whole experience with the gang culture was like, I was different from me to other people because I was struggling inside. I knew I came from a good home. I was a good guy in general, but I was getting pulled between both sides, between Bloods and between Muslims. So I was trying to dance in both worlds, and inside it was always a conflict, and there was always a struggle inside because one is trying to take over the other. So my mind wasn't really sound, and through my experience as a gang member.
Well,
I wanted to ask you just to go back, just like some of your upbringing. I mean, like where you was actually, like where you from, like where you grew up. I mean, like your household. Did you have your mother and father in the household? Like how was it, like school? Like,
did you come up in the Bronx?
Like, that particular part
no
actually
doubt.
show where your mom was at before you end up getting in trouble.
That's a fact because I was from the Bronx, Edenwald Projects. Shout out to Edenwald, Southside 54. But that's a fact because let me tell you something, man. I don't know if you ever heard of Kohlberg. He was a theorist, right? And he's the one that coined the phrase pre-conventional, conventional, post-conventional stages of moral development. Right? Let's take, for instance, you got like a child, let's say from 0 to 5 years old. The first teacher this child's going to have is whoever's in the household. So you might see the child crawling like a dog. They say, get off the floor, you ain't no dog. So that's his first experience of getting taught not to crawl on the floor and act like a dog. So being taught in my household was like dysfunctional. I don't know, not every black home is dysfunctional, but mine was. My father was locked up for a long time. My father did 29 years in prison. So I grew up without my father in the household. And my mother was caught up in that late 70s, early 80s stage where, you know, crack cocaine was cool. That's what they did back then. Nobody thought they would get strung out the way they got strung out. Like the kids nowadays smoking K2. You ain't think that you'll see them all on 125th Street asking for quarters and dollars to get high. But that's how the experience was. So for me, growing up in that environment, being picked on in my neighborhood, people snapping on me, oh, your mother's a crackhead, this, that, and, you know, it causes a lot of trauma as a child. So now going into the school system from, let's say, from like 6 years old and onward, they took fingerprints of us in my neighborhood. 6, 7-year-olds said, oh, you might get kidnapped, let's take your fingerprint. So at that early age, I was already conditioned to being fingerprinted by police. You know what I mean? So at that particular time of my life, a lot of environmental things was happening. Edenwald Project was a very violent neighborhood. So by the time I got to that teenage year, everything that I have learned up to that point, you know what I'm saying? It wasn't something that was conducive to a healthy mind. So by the time I got into a gang, there was really nothing of substance that I learned in my upbringing because I rejected things my grandmother said. You know what I mean? Because I wasn't getting foster kid checks or SAT checks like the rest of my family members was. So I had to go outside and do particular acts to make money. I didn't want to go to school with British Nikes on. So I had to do things to put myself in a position to want to go to school. So by the time I got into a gang, I was already a violent person. So all that did was multiply and intensify the violence that I was already perpetuating at the particular time. But it was only I got out of the gang, I was able to transform my life, which you'll get to later on in the conversation.
What school did you go to? Did you finish school? How was that? How was your schooling?
Well, I got kicked out of elementary school in the 5th grade. I graduated public, like elementary school, in my grandmother's apartment. They had to come into the apartment and put a cap and gown on, or like whatever the graduation thing was at that particular time inside the apartment. Like I was banned from all elementary schools. There was none that would accept me.
So what happened? So what happened? You got banned. So where did it go from there? Just you were banned for your life? What happened? How did you overcome that?
When I was in elementary school, after I graduated elementary school in the house, they sent me to one of those schools they call 600 school, like a problem school. So I went to school in Brooklyn in junior high school. So while I was in junior high school, I caught a case. So they sent me to DFY. So I went to Spofford, then I went to non-secure detention, then I went to Pius 12, which is an upstate placement for 12 months. And I graduated junior high school while I was in DFY. So when I got out of prison, I got back in school. Then I went to high school, which was a high school in Manhattan, which also was 600 school. There was like 6 girls in the whole school. Everybody was on probation or aftercare, you know. And then from there, I went back to jail. I went to C-74. That's when, you know, I got into the gang thing, and my life just kept going, spiraling down. I've been in prison damn near my whole entire life. I spent more time in prison than I spent as a human in society.
Yeah, and it's crazy because that's what I was listening to, the actual time period and what you were going through, even the conditioning, and like when you end up turning blood, was you looking for anything else just besides violence, like as far as, you know, just wanting to have people to be a part with, the camaraderie, you know, the family that wasn't there, you know, did that play a part in your mind as well?
I would say no. The camaraderie, yes, but family, no, because I didn't know what family was. Like, even though I had a family, I didn't really understand the concept of love. So I can't say that I was looking for family, because even at that particular age, like I didn't really care about nobody, because I couldn't care about myself. So I really wasn't looking for family. I was looking for people that'd get down with me to oppress the oppressor at the particular time, which was these other gang members that was targeting young Black people that was on Rikers Island.
How old were you at the time?
I was 16. Actually, I just turned 17 years old, because my birthday is June 11th, and this was like in the wintertime of 1994.
Yeah, you know, and first of all, shout out my brother, man. Salaam alaikum, my brother.
Salam.
You know, you and I, we've known each other for a very long time, man. I mean, literally, I'll say about 30 years, man. Yeah. And the crazy thing is that as we've gotten older, we've gotten wiser. You know, I see your growth, because I remember when speaking, as you speak to this, I remember the young, wild, immature, irresponsible, violent, angry VI. You know what I'm saying? And that was the one that, you know, whose name was just everywhere when we were younger. Yeah. And, you know, was that, to KK's question, I want to add a little bit more to that. Was that your defense mechanisms? Was that really you? Was that Vincent Warren, or was this persona that you were projecting to the world because for whatever reason you were just angry inside and you wanted everybody else to kind of feel that anger inside of you?
I would answer that like, that was VI, right? But Vince, this person, he wasn't developed yet. He didn't insert himself into the universe yet. At that particular time, my brain is not even fully developed, not even fully formed. I'm just a young child, you know, doing things that, I mean, I knew it was wrong because my conscience would tell me it's wrong, but I had no empathy. I had no sympathy. I really didn't care, because hurt people. Right? So I didn't know who I was until I became who I was, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Let me ask you this. When you were in the gang and you were, you know, you was putting in work or doing whatever you do, What did you consider yourself a gangster, a gangbanger, a revolutionary, a real nigga? What did you consider yourself at that time when you were doing all these things in this gang?
Well, I thought I was a gangster. I'm gonna use the N-word like you said. I thought I was a real nigga because I was acting real niggerish. So definitely, most definitely that. Revolutionary never came to my mind. Even though I read all the Black Panther books and stuff like that, that wasn't something that moved me back then. You know what I mean? Like, I really didn't care.
So when you were reading these books and getting this information, what did you think? Name some of the stuff that you read and some of the stuff that you got from the homies at that time. And how did you view yourself, coming into, fighting cases, fighting individuals in the system? How did you view yourself and how did you view the information that was being given to you?
Well, some of the books I read, like The Taste of Power, Elaine Brown, Sada Shakur books, Blood in My Eyes, George Jackson. All these books, to keep it honest with you, just made me more angry, right? That's what I took out of it. I ain't take out of the things that they was fighting for in the 60s. I just looked at how the police officers was treating these people. Right? I didn't get the message because even though I knew how to read, I didn't know how to comprehend. Like, reading and comprehension is valuable. Like, you can read anything, but if you can't understand what it is you're reading and be able to interpret it, you know what I'm saying, manifesting in your own being, you just reading something. So that was what I was doing. I was just reading things, not really understanding what I was reading. I couldn't gain the concept of it because I never was conditioned or trained to do that, right? And the things I was getting from my community I was dealing with at the particular time, it was a whole bunch of politics and blood at the time. You know what I'm saying? OG Mac went home. It was just a whole bunch of things that was going on within blood at that particular time that you had no time to really have quiet in your mind to just say, yo, this is my brother, because the same dude called my brother, I'm looking out for him because if things go left, he might want to shoot me. So I couldn't even trust the same guy that I'm saying he's my brother. You know what I mean? Because if you catch me slipping and they push the button, because I was dealing with SI real hard at the time. You know what I'm saying? So it's a lot of things going on in that whole situation. So I was like more or less like 050. You know what I'm saying? I didn't know how it was going to come. Plus, I was fighting a case where I know if I lose, I'm getting 25 to life. And I'm conflicted with that in my heart because the person that died was somebody that I knew, and our families knew each other. So I'm trying to deny that I did it. You know what I mean? Trying to hide from myself the reality of what I've done, that I'm just doing anything to keep my mind off of what I did to somebody that I knew, that I actually grew up with. So a lot of the violence that I did, I guess it was trying to run from the demons that I was facing inside because, like I said, hurt people. If that even makes sense, what I just said.
It does, man. And I was thinking what you said, just the struggle that you was going through, like with Islam and banging, and it made me think about something we used together when, I don't know if you probably remember when you gave that speech. You was in a Have in a while. You was like mad nervous beforehand. You was like you really wanted to go
let's stay on Rikers Island,
like,
KK.
You really wanted to go up there and get a speech, but just the struggle that you was going between though, from blood and that, man. Can you just expound on that a little more?
Yo, KK, before we move into that, before we coming up north, let's finish out on Rikers Island. Let's finish out on Rikers Island and take it up to when he came upstate. All right, let's keep it in order. So you was with us on Rikers Island, you know what I'm saying? We all knew you and you went home.
Yeah.
And when you went home, you was already blood. And we used to go to Bronx Court. You know, we used to see you outside, you know, with the homies, you know, outside the buses. We used to see you up there at the courthouse, saluting all of us and talking to us. So how was it like? When did you go home and when did you actually come back?
That was crazy.
So you went home and we seen you, you know, you was with us on Rikers Island. You went home and then you came back. Explain that whole thing right there.
Well, I had caught a case. You know, whatever happened, dudes. I don't like to say, I don't like to call dudes rats and snitches, right? Because certain people that's not like from that cloth, you do something, that's what they're gonna do. They're gonna report it to the police. They civilians. But the person I was beefing with, I had caught a case. He don't come to court, so I end up going home. Now, when I go home, I thought about, like, I got mad brothers on JPay. I send them videos all day long. That's all I do is send them videos. But at that particular time when I left y'all, I really missed y'all. Like, y'all, like, yo, bro, like, it's ready to cry. Because, like, I'm telling you, like, the brothers that I left behind, that became like my family, B. Like, even though I didn't know the concept of family, but I knew the concept of loss. Like, I miss these brothers. So I went to the bus station where the courts is at, trying to throw things through the window to give to them, get girls to dance for the brothers on the bus. Y'all going to court. But the problem was, by me staying engaged with the brothers on that bus and getting pumped up with that energy. Yeah, VI, yo, throw it up. Oh, 31, blood, east side. That right there put me in a mind state that ain't no punking out. Like, if somebody violate me, I got to return in kind. But see, that's how I come back to prison, because I'm still in touch with the same people that live in the same lifestyle, and I'm still projecting not even an image. This is who I was at the particular time. So the first person that do something to me, I'm gonna go extreme. You smack me, I'm punching you. You stab me, I'm shooting you. That was just my mindset at the time. So I went home December 4th, and this case happened that I went to jail for.
December 4th of what year?
1998. So
you were home December 4th, 1998?
Yes. And I came back December 30. I came back in March, but the case happened December 31st, New Year's Eve. So I was only home for like 3 weeks before I caught this case. And the thing, like, the
New Year's Eve, 1999?
1998. But see what I'm saying, like, it could escalate. Right? First, you start out shoplifting the cow doors, right? Then you start stealing this with me. Then I start stealing cars. Then I start assaulting. Then I start robbing. Then I start shooting. And then the ultimate crime, I killed somebody. So it's like the escalation, the propensity of violence, it just kept going. I just kept upping it and upping it and upping it. You know what I'm saying? So and then they sat me down. They gave me 25 to life.
Yeah. You know, I remember when you left. And I remember when we read the newspaper article about them looking for you.
Yeah.
And I remember that feeling of, y'all all know that feeling. You know what I mean? Like when you got love for somebody, and they might have been in the predicament that y'all were in together on Rikers Island in the Bing. But when you read that in the paper, it was like damn, because I know that now. If they catch you, it's like either gonna be a 20 life bid. It's gonna be something of that nature. And I don't want to get into the specifics of that, but I'll get into the fact that you just said somebody's life was lost in that, and that's something that you always have to wear. When did you return? I know you said you returned on the 31st, but I think when you say that you still were institutionalized, it's like you never left, because you were still there. Your body was in the streets, but I think mentally you were still detained on Rikers Island, because you said you missed these brothers, you missed us, you missed the camaraderie, you missed that love that was there. But it was kind of, it's a strange way. But my question to you is, so now you're back, you come right back, not even a month later. What are you feeling in that moment? Do you feel like, oh, I'm back home, quote unquote, it's not that bad, or are you like, oh, I really messed up? Like, what's your mind state at that moment?
I will correct something. Even though the case happened December 31st, but I was on the run.
Yeah.
I got caught in March 1999. So I was on the news. Helicopters looked, Tacky was talking crazy. But what happened
and they worded it like it was the first body that happened in the Bronx, or the last in the Bronx. But so I remember the wording that they kind of used.
But what happened was that this I know to be a fact. I was in special housing the whole time. I was in the restraints, 2A NIC restraints. I was walking with the mittens on and all that in court, and I was always in the Bing. So I was caged in the whole, like, for days and days, all of us. So once they let you out, they just open the cage. You ain't used to being around a whole bunch of people at one time. You ain't used to certain things that society has to offer, because you live in the experience as someone in a cell 24 hours a day, except for 1 hour where you all in chains or the chain gang going to the key block, to the cages outside the key block rec. So when that's time for me to go home, they just let a lion out of the cage. You know what I mean? and that's how it was. So when I went out there, it wasn't more or less like, yeah, you could say I was institutionalized. That's a fact. You know what I mean? I would definitely subscribe to that. Yes, I was institutionalized. I'm gonna say it. That's just what it is.
And pardon me, I stand to be corrected. Yeah, it wasn't 3 weeks, but you're right. The crime actually took place.
Yeah.
After no question. I apologize. So again, so coming back in now that they apprehend you and they bring you back in, what's your mental state like on coming back? And first of all, where did they catch you at? And what was that like once they put them handcuffs back up on you to coming back to Rikers Island and having to fight these charges now?
Well, I was in Staten Island. They arrested me in Staten Island. So once I get I knew it was over, right? Once I get back to Rikers Island, they took me straight back to the Bing. Like I left there, I still owed days when I left, so they threw me right back in the same cell that I had just left.
How many days did you owe?
Oh man, hundreds of days. Just holding the slot, all kind of stuff we was doing.
Yeah.
So they threw me right back in the same predicament, back in the same cell. So I mean, only way I could, and I felt bad. I really felt bad. I felt bad because I knew the guy. Granted, I mean, things happened to me before that happened, so I don't want to throw no shade on somebody that ain't here no more. So I ain't even gonna go there with that. You know what I mean? But I wasn't the guy that just gonna pull out a gun and just shoot somebody that I know. Something happened before that, but I ain't gonna, like I said, I ain't gonna do that. But when I came back, I felt bad because I genuinely liked this dude. And I really didn't. Let me tell you something, bro. I ain't mean to kill this guy. I swear on my life, man. I pulled the gun. He walked away. I'm running, shooting behind me because I'm thinking he's chasing me. I'm not even looking at him. Those bullets hit him, and I'm not even looking at him aiming. I'm one of them accidental murderers. Like, I had an accidental body. Like, I really didn't mean to kill him. So when I heard he died, I felt like shit. Like, damn, I know his mom, I know his brothers, I know his, you know what I mean? He got 11 kids, bro. Like, I felt like fucked up, excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? In that situation, knowing I didn't really mean to do it. And like I ran down on my head, tapped somebody, like it wasn't that type of situation. And what make it even worse is they offered me 10 years. They offered me 10 years. I would have been home at 8, but I can't go to court and admit that I did it because my family know his family. So it's like, damn, I want to plead guilty, but I don't want to have my grandma have a heart attack. You know what I mean? I want to plead guilty, but I don't want his family to know I actually did it. So I'm wrestling with that at the same time.
Wow, that's crazy. KK, you want to say something?
Nah, God, I was just thinking about just the maturation process because him being young and just coming under that, like how just your thinking process at that time, like how was it? Because you're dealing with prison, you're dealing with that, you're dealing with the thing with your family, and like how was your mental health though? You know what I mean?
It was bad. Let me tell you something, man. One time I was in a Bing, and I took people that don't know that's tuned in. The Bing is solitary confinement, right? Special housing unit. While I was in there, they got they got the food slot where they pass your food through the slot. I remember I tied a sheet around the slot. I took butt ass naked, bro. No clothes on. I took like a towel, cut it in half, and I made like a Tarzan type of underwear. I took the pillowcase open, I made like a cape, and I held my slot for them to distract me, looking like that. And I'm screaming to the Batmobile, Robin, and everybody's laughing like this was funny. I'm making a whole ass out of myself. They recording this type of shit. You know what I'm saying? This shit's recorded. So they take me to MHU, to Mars, one of those Hart's Island things, a C-75. So I'm in and out the psychiatric place because I'm playing like I'm crazy to get out the box. But actually, I got some mental problems. I'm not really playing. Like, brother need help. And I don't know if you could say I was calling out for help. I was reaching out for help because I don't think I knew what that was. And I think that the stereotypes of seeing mental health or seeing a therapist was still like, yo, this dude is a bug out. So even if inside you know you need to talk to somebody, you're kind of scared to talk to somebody because you don't want it to be known that you're seeing a psychiatrist type thing. That was my situation.
Because the label that came with it, and a lot of us used to perpetuate that as well. Like,
And
you going
back in
to
the
mental
days,
health, and you consider you weak or soft. Yeah, you're
and
absolutely
in our
correct.
time, if you did that, if you did any of that type of stuff, you was a dub too.
Yeah, you was a dub. Yeah.
You was a dub.
And
All that
it's,
stuff that was
y'all right.
accepted amongst the gang. Talk, speak to that. That not being
Y'all
accepted.
right. Word.
All right, well,
You got
I
feedback.
knew that. I had an image, right? My image was not that I was the smartest dude, but I could fight. I'm a good boxer, and I would pull out a weapon and I would use it. That was the reputation that I had. So me not knowing the things I needed to know as being a Damu, as being blood, I had to substitute it with violence. So that way a person will run down and check me, yo, blood, what that red be like, or yo, what's your constitution? What's your oath? I don't remember that shit, but they'll know that's VI. He just shot son in the other joint. So I was running from that part. You know what I'm saying? And plus the things I've done, you know what I'm saying, in my community, like, yo, man, I did some horrible things, man. I'm not saying like I molested kids or I did domestic violence, but like I was one of them guys that'd take a dog on the roof and just throw the dog off the roof. Or I put alcohol in the cat and light the cat on fire. Like this was my mind state at this particular time. I lost my mother at a very young age. I was a mama's boy. And I see my mother died. She was only 80 pounds, bro. Like my mother had AIDS, man, but she died from pneumonia. You know what I'm saying? So that
how old were you when that happened?
I was 14 when she died. But I remember people in my neighborhood that got word of my mother was sick. And they used to snap on me. Like, they didn't want to touch the door behind me. Dudes didn't want to sit in the same chair after me. Oh, your mom's got You know what I'm saying? They picked on me. So I'm fighting grown-ass men. You know what I'm saying? Because these are ones that was picking on me saying this type of shit. So for me, I was a young guy, just mad that what happened to my mother, right? Mad that, you know what I'm saying, I wasn't getting nothing, you know what I mean? Because I got two sisters. You know, my grandmother seen what's going on, not to rewind, but I wanted to bring you back to come forward. When I was young, when my mom was sick, and my mom was doing drugs, apologize to my family for putting our business out there, but I'm just taking my truth. My mother was getting high, so my grandmother said, I'm gonna take custody of y'all. So she told us when we go to see the social worker, y'all tell them that your mother's on drugs, you want to live with me. That way I could get these checks and take care of y'all. So we went to court. My sisters did it, but me, I told the social worker that's not true. My mother don't do drugs. I want to live with my mother. So by me doing that, my two sisters would get foster care money. I wouldn't get nothing. And then my grandma will make me always remember that. You should have did what I said. You wouldn't have to wear your sister's sneakers to school. So she always kept bringing that up, that I ain't follow her instructions by telling the social worker the things that happened with my mother. So I grew up wearing some of my sister's clothing. I grew up when my grandmother had to give me some of the money out their checks or out of her check. And so I didn't want to go to school because I don't want to go to school with my sister's sneakers on. She wore those the last school year. You know what I mean? Everybody know those are hers. I ain't going. You know what I mean? And then she kept picking on me for not saying it. So now I want to run away. I don't want to be in the same house with my sisters knowing they getting these money and I'm not getting nothing. You know what I mean? I feel left out. I feel excluded. So now I run away from home and I start doing the things I'm doing. You know what I'm saying? And I'm living with all this. And while I'm on Rikers Island at the particular time, and I'm dealing with the mental health challenges. I'm dealing with the challenges because of what happened in my upbringing with my mother, the things that were said to me while I was growing up. You know, I was dealing with a female that was just driving me crazy. Like, I was in love with this girl, and the things that she was doing, all this shit was playing in my mind at the particular time, and I didn't know how to address it. I had no outlet because I'm still facing forever a day in jail, and I got drama. You know what I'm saying? I got drama. It ain't like it's pieces of cream. My walk wasn't like that. Like everywhere I went, like I had to defend myself. You know what I mean? Not because of the homies, because we was doing so much things to everybody else. Like when you get seen in court, you had to show up. You had to do something. It was lit, and I was beef with some gangsters. You know what I'm saying? It's real talk.
Yeah, you know what? You sharing a lot of very critical information and vital information about all of us because, you know, we all were suffering from some type of trauma, some worse than others.
Facts.
And I'm amazed at how through that trauma, we found the outlet through violence, and we normalized our trauma through violence, and we glorified our trauma through violence, and we rewarded each other when we engaged in senseless acts of violence, and it was applauded and lauded because we thought that individuals were just doing what they needed to do for the culture, but in reality, what a lot of us were doing were really screaming out for help.
Right.
You dig what I'm saying? And we egged each other on. We encouraged each other on to engage in some of the most senseless stuff. Think about some of the names which were bestowed upon us, because some of the senseless acts that we all did.
Yeah.
And and what's your take on that, man? That you engaged in a lot of violence and you saw your peers doing this as well. And the culture of violence became normal so that we normalize abnormal behavior. What do you think about that?
I think that like you talk about deviate behavior patterns, right?
Absolutely.
Things that deviate from societal norms, right? I think that the reason why I was content with what I was doing, because I felt I was doing it to people that I was doing it to people. Like, we wasn't like we was targeting the weakest guy in the house, in the cell block. We was fighting amongst killers. Like, everybody that I had beef with, they wasn't no squares that just got locked up for petty offense. They was people that was running the street like I was running the street. So we felt comfortable committing these acts of violence upon these people because they was committing violence themselves. So it feels like it's okay to do it because those people are hurting people anyway. So we just all hurting each other, basically.
Yeah.
And it's crazy like that. You said that though, both of y'all, what Moshe was saying too, but the bonds though that was created in relationships that was forged through all that madness. Like, it's just, I'm hurt, you hurt, but not even knowing, like, we both need help, but really our help was each other and not really even knowing how to help each other. Wow. We just encouraging each other to do more, more senseless, senseless nonsense. Which is, and so you was going through that, Alan. When came the time when you got sentenced and they were talking about the trial? You was going through the case. What type of time they was talking about?
Well, like I said, it offered me 10 years. I ain't want to take it. I think what really hurt me at trial is I took the stand on my own behalf. Like, that was the stupidest shit I could have did. I know I did the shit, but I'm gonna get on the stand and try to talk this shit out of them. Like, you know what I mean? So they start asking me questions, and I'm refusing to answer. I'm like, I'm not answering that. You in the game? I'm not answering that. Like, the jury looking at me like, who the hell is this guy? Like, you know what I mean? So when I already knew I was getting 25 years, I knew that from the rip. The way the trial was going, I already knew what was going to be the end result. It was just more or less me trying to prolong it so I could stay on Rikers Island longer to be closer home. So I already knew the finale of my case because I seen the way the witnesses was testifying. I see the direction it was going. There was too much things inserted into my case that I knew it was a wrap. But now once I blew trial, which was crazy because I'm in a box. I'm in the Beacon Bing. I'm going back and forth from the Beacon Bing to the Beacon Bing with the MO side because I wanted to stay in the Beacon because, you're going to visit, you can have sex with your girl in the visit. So that's always why I was wanting to stay there. So I played all these stupid ass roles, excuse my language, just to be able to do what I wanted to do. But when I blew trial, bro, I made some dice out of bread. I had like 5 different accents. I was playing dice. I'm like, what's in it, Reggie? What's up, Papa? How many got? Like, I had like 5 different voices playing myself in dice. Like, people was listening, like, yo, VI, you all right, bro? Yo, you bugging down there. And I'm loud with it. And I'm like, you can really hear like an Arab guy talking. I don't know if that's a derogatory friend, Arabic speaking guy talking. Like, that's what I was doing. So when I finally went upstate, like, I was just a mess, bro. As soon as I went to downstairs, I had a fight in a mess hall. I seen a dude from the Bing that had beef with Pop right there. That ended up slicing somebody in downstate. Not to glorify that, I'm just saying my experience. This guy tried to do something to me, something happened. Then I went to Green Haven. Now, once I got to Green Haven, this is when I started, like, I don't want to say maturing because I'm getting older too. Because at the particular time I came north, I was 23. I was in Green Haven.
The levels particularly changed from, Rikers Island, you upstate now, a bunch of grown men, old guys who've been down. So, yeah.
But I went upstate with a name, though. because at a particular time, you know, like I said, SI, that was my man, rest in peace. A lot of things when he created the council, they had no mailbox. My ex-wife, her mother typed up all that shit. He was sending all his mail to us, and we were sending it to Cali, sending to different places where mail was coming back, and they were sending to him. So I already knew what was going on before it happened because we already had it. My friend, my ex-wife, her mom was typing in the crib. So I knew about the Diamond Pinda, all that already. I was even able to tell him certain things I thought he should put in it. Not taking credit for what they did. I'm just saying at that particular time, that's how that was. But a lot of politics was happening with him. So I went upstate knowing, yo, that's SI little man, or that's SI man. So a lot of problems he had, I wore. Because a lot of people was like what he was doing. So that was coming my way. You know what I'm saying? But when I get to Green Haven, being I had a reputation when I came upstate from Rikers Island, you know, a lot of dudes from Rikers Island is upstate now. And a lot of guys that I grew up in Rikers Island, they in different places with dudes that got a better situation. So they ended up with their own hoods.
Let me give you let me get a little background. So
yeah,
you VI now, you know, we all know your name. You got this time and you inside this gang structure.
Yeah.
We know, did you remain Valentine? Did you get rank? You know, how did that go? How did your name move inside the gang structure?
Well, like I said, I was Valentine. SI, you know, United Trey, he wanted to pull me over there with him. I was loyal to Wayno at the time. This was my mind thinking at the time. So while I'm in Green Haven, Mel Cross, that's my man. Like I came up with Mel Cross. He come to Green Haven. He like, yo, bro, I got the situation. You know what I'm saying? What's up? Like now I'm over here. Like nah, son, but in my mind too, I'm chasing power because everybody a gen, everybody a OG. I feel I'm tougher than most of the dudes that's claiming position. I ain't got shit. You know what I'm saying? I'm telling Wayno like, yo, what's up? He like, yo, the lineup full, son. You know we smart. Nah, bro, I'm about to bounce if you don't sling something my way. So I was more or less like chasing power now. You know what I'm saying? I see dudes got hood. I want to be an OG too.
Why would you why were you chasing power? What led you? Like, why did you want this power? What did you want to do with it?
See, I ain't know what I wanted to do with it. What I wanted though was something behind my name. That's all that was on my mind. I wasn't thinking like I'm gonna make a difference in the community or I'm gonna revamp the structure of the hood. I'm gonna give back. I ain't think about none of that. All I think about was I put in mad work and I felt my hand called for it. And nobody's willing to give it to me, so I'm gonna ride with the person that's gonna give it to me. That's how I felt. And I don't know if a lot of people felt like I felt or don't want to admit it. But once that general shit and all that started happening, I wanted mine. You know what I'm saying? I'm looking at this dude, yo, you's a bozo. I beat you up like it's down. How you OG? Like, what? Where's my shit at? That was my mind state. You know what I didn't care about nothing else.
Yo, I think it's funny. I think because that when you get the WW, man, the worldwide, and you see all the names on there, and your name ain't on there because my name wasn't on it. I was like, yo, my name gonna get on there one day. Well, I'm gonna do something that's gonna outshine everybody's name up on this piece. I'm getting up on it. That's the mentality how you thinking because you like, you know what? I feel like I belong on that list. And that was the culture. We trying to outshine each other.
And it's it's crazy. I'm just thinking that you saying that how sad that
good point, VI.
So you ain't banging for the cause, you banging B cause.
Yeah,
that's what happens.
Because I wanted to be looked at like the
my movie gonna be spectacular. I'm gonna do something everybody gonna know and hear about.
It'd be that's how it was.
That's exactly how it is. But now, pardon me, V. I apologize. Go ahead, bro.
I respect the truth, though.
Yeah, but see, like me, like I was one of them guys. Like, if you got your hood, like you my man. I wasn't a guy that say I'm banging for the set. I'm banging for my man. So if my man get faded, there's no loyalty for me in that hood because my man got shut down. You understand what I'm saying? That's where I had the experience I had within the blood organization because I really didn't. I didn't care about blood. I just love the people in it more than the organization. You understand what I'm trying to say?
Right.
You know what I mean? So like if I had a job, right, and I'm working, let's say, in a hospital, but my man is the director of the hospital. I'm working in the hospital, but I'm really working because my man is director. I'm rocking with my man. They got a new director. I'm quitting. I'm out. I'm going to another hospital to work. that was my mentality. You know what I'm saying? That's why a lot of guys don't have a successful career within blood, because they not banging because they want to say blood we love overrides oppression and destruction. You heard? They bang because they man is banging. You know what I'm saying? So it's not really in them. The passion ain't in them because they just following their mans in them. And that's pretty much what I was doing. Like, you know, that's why it was always a conflict for me within the organization with the Muslim and all that, because I really wasn't tied in to blood as in a way a revolutionary mind would be tied into it. I'm more or less like not the fab, but like, yo, I'm this, but this is my man too, and this is what we rocking together. This is what it is. People in my neighborhood in Edenwald, they was that. All right, cool. I put most of them in a situation, or they heard my name, so they got in the situation. So I was just rolling with Rush, bro. Like, real talk, man.
So did you make a transition from Valentine to the Brims? Well, how did that go?
I mean, it was kind of simple. I wrote Wayno, say, yo, bro, if you don't give me no slot, I'm out. I gave him like a month. He ain't write me back. My son was right there. That's what it was. You know what I'm saying? I turned hat. You know what I'm saying?
And you got those rims that you wanted.
That's a fact.
What you got, a stain? What you got? 3?
At first, they gave me a little 3-star. It was 3-star gym.
You got a 3-star. I knew you got a 3.
but I ended up becoming a high stain in the hood. You know what I'm saying? Did a lot of politics happen with that. I'm even going to talk about that. But it's just every time, son, some real shit, bro. Every time I felt like I was there, like, we got it, we in it. Something happened to that dude, man.
All right, hold on. Before you go into that, right? You got your little 3 rims. You got the 3 rims.
Yeah. That's what you wanted. You wanted
the 3 rims. So, how did you feel after you got the 3 rims? How did the transition from you was there so you went from UBN to the Brims when they expanded and left? Yeah. So how was the reception? How did the homies treat you? How did that go? Did it happen in Green Haven?
Yeah.
So how was that whole thing right there? How did that go?
Yeah, at the particular time, like, if you've been in prison, so you know the jails closer to the city are not like the jails up north. You know what I mean? So if you want to sing Green, you can get away with certain shit, you heard? That you can't get away with in Clinton or Attica or Auburn. You know what I mean? I'm down the closest city. Everybody from the city. Nobody really trying to blow the spot. You know what I mean? So everybody on some chill shit. All right, whatever. This was the same. Yo, that's some up north shit. Let them fight about that up north. We down here. Even if a kite comes saying, yo, niggas throwing that in the toilet, act like they never got the kite. Because they ain't trying to leave the spot. And plus, you messing with me, like, it's gonna be a situation. And not only that, we was kind of deep. You know what I'm saying? At the time, everybody was hood hot. Them hoods opened up. Everybody thought they was gonna get friends. People being tight with, yo, I'm gonna give you this. Dudes making transitions. And plus, when under the U, dudes writing they homies, they big home, whatever, they ain't responding. They ain't answering nothing. All they do is just in the box, sitting there talking about, yo, you know what I'm saying? Send them a kite here. They ain't responding to that shit. I don't know if it's the police playing pro-tel, you know what I'm saying? Intercepting kites with people. Because I'm tell you something what I learned, bro. Not to deviate. But them correction officers, man, the sharpest, smartest people, they're going to put you in a box, man. They're going to isolate you from the flock. So that way the people that's following you ain't going to have no direction. They're going to be out there on their own. Every kite you send, they're going to watch that kite. They're going to tell us what we can read. Oh, you can't read these books. So now they control what you read. So everything you read, they know what you read. So they're able to predict every move you make before you make it because they reading the same shit you reading. You know what I'm saying? So they isolate dudes. So the people that's in the field that dudes is following behind, they misguided it. So the whole shit was just fucked up. Excuse my language. You know what I mean?
Yeah, crazy. So you said you had that was the spot you went to. You had got to Green Haven, but your mindset started changing because of the environment. So now you're changing your hood. You're seeing a whole different environment, a whole different structure. What was going on inside of you though? Like as far as that, you said you started maturing. Seeing certain things.
What happened was I got into a boxing program down there. Boxing Shadell, the Muslim brother. No, I was plucking shit out in that ring. I ain't gonna hold you. I remember. You know what I'm saying? I was out and shit, you heard? But check it out. He gained though. I started going to NOI. This is where the exception, this is where the knowledge started coming in.
What inspired you to go to NOI?
It's Ramadan. It's Ramadan. We going down there to eat.
Oh, so you went down there strictly to eat. They enticed you with the food. They got you to the mosque with the food.
Yeah, that chicken, you heard?
All right. That all right.
Nah, I go down in a while. Plus, that's where we all got up because of Green Haven is separated. You can't see people. So we go down there to get up. So while I'm down there, I ain't
salute to the NOI brothers, man. Salute to the Nation of Islam, man.
Assalamu alaikum.
Salute to all the brothers,
I'm
man.
I'm smoking weed. I'm high when I went
feeding the people's, educating the people's mental knowledge, physical knowledge. We needed all of that. Salute to those brothers. Go ahead, though.
I went down there. I'm high when I go down there already.
Are you high? Or
smoking mad weed? I gotta throw up. So I'm like, damn, I hope I don't throw. They think I'm sniffing dope. Oh man, that was my mind state. I wasn't thinking, I hope I ain't high so they can see me high. The people, I'm thinking I want to throw up because I want people to think I was doing something else. You know what I'm saying? But the brothers start talking. Like, yeah, brother, I know you high right now. I know you tired of this lifestyle, just that and the third. He was just going and going.
They was on you. They was on your heels. They peeped you.
But it felt like he was talking to me. You know what I'm saying?
One of the security brothers, one of the elders from the community.
Yeah, they was. They was elders, but a lot of people was my age. The young brothers. But when I was hearing what they were saying, it started resonating because I'm saying when I was a young kid around my neighborhood, they had the Nation Guards and Earth. And I used to OEOP's guard, and I came up under the Nation Guards and Earth. You know what I'm saying? So, like I said, since I was a little kid, I've always been a part of some type of culture, subculture, Guards and Earth. So I was already prone to joining these gangs because since a little kid, I've been joining these clubs. You know what I mean? Even though gang Guards of Earth is not a gang, but when I was young, that shit was a gang, you heard? You couldn't have, keep saying you heard, apologize. It's like when you were having the supreme mathematics in prison, you go to box for that at one time. They wasn't recognizing that. So to me, that was like, it was just a gang on a different type of intellectual level. But once I started hearing what they were saying, it started resonating. When they was talking about the original man is the Asiatic black man and the rest of the stuff. Plus, I knew about the Sunni deen, right? I used to always pray. So that right there, just the calling of the dawn was just like in my soul, like I felt it. And I just kept getting pulled to every time I heard, Lord, wake up. That did something inside of me that just broke me up. And it made me feel ashamed of being a gang member. And plus, all the politics in the gang, I'm ready to get out anyway. I'm just looking for a way to get out because I don't know how to get out. I don't know at the particular time I just say, yo, bro, I want to go. Because I tried that.
And what year are you making reference to right now? Like, I mean, what year is this?
I came up, and this is 2002. I came up 2001. 2002, 2003. This is when the transformation started happening inside me. And this made me vulnerable too. Because the homies is like, yo, bro, what do you want to do? You want to be blood or you want to be Nation of Islam? Make up your mind. You know what I'm saying? So I would rock with the Nation of Islam, but then I still got the pull to the Damu because I've been a part of that for a little minute now. And those are my men. So I'm like, I don't know. Like, I'm in and out. I don't know what I want to do. You know what I'm saying? And that made me vulnerable because now I'm not in tune no more. I don't know what's going on up top. I don't know dudes is cutting each other. This set is beefing with this set. I don't know none of that because I ain't in the loop. You know what I'm saying? So now I'm trying to do what I do and shit happen. I end up, I get scratched, bro. You know what I'm saying? I put in work after it happened, but the deed done. But if I would have been in tune with what was going on.
You said you got scratched?
Yeah, I got scratched right here in my face.
Oh, on some set tripping type stuff?
That's a fact.
And you know because you had no knowledge of it, it was pertaining to what was going on up top with the division. You mean between you and the hats?
Exactly.
Copy.
But I don't know because
wait a minute. What jail was that? So that was a war with the you and the hats, or what was that?
No, not for nothing, Mike. I see you going with this, but respectfully, I'll decline to answer that question because, like, I don't want to talk about that. You know what I'm saying? Because for me personally, that's like a trigger. That's like a trigger for me. Like I know how to identify. I learned how to identify triggers. Like if I go down that rabbit hole, then I'm gonna just start reliving all the things that I had and all the pain that I caused people in that lifestyle. So I try not to really talk about it because I don't want to be sucked back into that rabbit hole, bro.
Copy.
I understand. I
appreciate you for that.
So good.
So that happened. That incident happened. So now I'm assuming you're in the box now, but then they shipped you out of the jail.
Yeah, they sit. I'll go to IPC. They send me to Sing Sing.
Okay.
They send me Sing Sing, fresh cut. I mean, it's bad because my face is cut. At the same time, all my friends got cuts on their face, so I ain't look at it like, you know, until I get a visit. What happens to your face, like? But that shit just, excuse my language, just makes me more mad. So now I just want to just cut everybody. You know what I mean? You cut me, I'm cutting everybody. That's it. Like, you know what I mean? And that's what I did in Sing Sing. And in Tunnel, you know, I'm doing things that happen to me. I'm just doing the worst to other people. You know what I mean? But I couldn't last in Sing Sing because, like I said, the Muslims is beefing with the homies. I ain't gonna say no names. I'm in between. I'm like, nah, Octo, chill. Let me talk to you, Sheikh. So I'm like, yo, that shit ain't about nothing. Dude that you harboring, he's this, that, and the third. I know the Fatia. I know the Sunnah. They don't know nothing. How he Muslim? Why you sheltering these dudes? So I'm in between that. Police see it. They set me at the banging my joint. They send me to the box. I'll go there. I go to upstate. So I see PBs. I see all these tank heads. I see all these other guys. And then I just go to jail, to jail, to jail. It's a non-stop cycle. You go to one jail, something happen, you blow it up, you go to another jail, you stay in Southport, and the Southport just make you worse. They just put you in a box and thinking, I just separate them from the population. But that just makes you even, it just makes you even a worse version of who you are coming out of Southport. That is a fact. Southport,
and I remember that because remember you and I, we were 2 cells away from each other.
Yeah.
And you and I, we always loved and was brothers. And behind the cages, we fought every freaking day, right? Fact. And I'm like, yo, I'm fighting with my brother every single day. We arguing, we threatening each other. We fighting like we freaking enemies. And I'm sitting here saying, yo, this is my brother. And that's what those environments do. Like I don't know, man. It's just a toxic place, man. I'm just so glad we all out that those institutions, man. Go ahead, bro.
On it. You see, I'm talking about post-traumatic gang syndrome, right?
Yes, sir. I was just about to ask you, VI.
Yeah.
You know, so now you're experiencing all this stuff right there. There's a lot going on. You brought up a lot, and we appreciate you being transparent and so on and so forth. We definitely appreciate the fact that you're pulling all this information out, right? But now I know you use this. Now we're gonna get into you being an author because there's a lot of stuff you ain't mentioned yet, man. That we want to talk about, right?
Yeah.
So I do want to talk about post-traumatic gang syndrome. I heard post-traumatic slavery syndrome, post-traumatic stress syndrome. I heard all of these diagnoses, but you have coined this.
Yes.
This is the first time I heard this. What is your theory, and what is your theory that this even exists? Where are you getting this from, man?
Yeah.
Talk to me, man.
Well, I went to college, right? And I learned like a syndrome, like 2 mental health classifications, right? So when you look at PTSD, post-traumatic stress syndrome, these guys that be in the war, they come home, they be like messed up in the brain, some of them, because of all the traumatic experience they've seen in Afghanistan and Iraq. Us, in this gang, we dealing with the same post-traumatic stress. But I'm calling it post-traumatic gang syndrome, not as in the gang you're going through. I'm talking about when you exit the gang. Yo, when you exit that gang culture, it is hard to find yourself, bro. After you've been raised in the gang, you don't know nothing but the game. Like you know things, but you have no etiquette, no real etiquette, no real value. You know what I'm saying? You don't really value yourself. You don't really value life. You know, because the things you do, not every gang member, but I mean, I'm taking on I didn't value these things.
That's what I was about to ask you. Like, give us some examples, you know, whatever you want to share. Give us some examples of what you actually went through that you considered symptoms of post-traumatic gang syndrome. Give us some of those examples.
All right. Some examples like when I exited the gang, right? I felt antisocial, right? I felt paranoid, right? Because you was in a gang, like you create mad enemies in the gang. Now you ain't in the gang no more. You ain't got these 50, 60, 100 dudes in the jail where somebody can say, nah, he homie. I ain't messing with him. Now it's like, yo, let's jump him. You know what I'm saying? So that stress plays on your mind because you create so many enemies while you in this culture that when you scared to leave, because if you leave, all the shit you did is going to come back to haunt you. You don't want to be in the yard by yourself fighting 50 dudes or some dude you did something to in the past. He see you now, or he ain't down with nothing. I'm getting him. He open food. Even though I could get my shit off, fight back, but you don't know who behind you to slice you while you ain't looking. Because blood, like, yo, bro, you was in jail, man. You know blood rule, man. You know what I'm saying? Even when I'm out of the situation, I see these little blood dudes, I be wanting to do something to them while I was in jail, but I know not to do nothing to them because this dude got like 50, 60 niggas with him. And I know I could smash him. So I got it like, yeah, all right, shorty, you don't really know. But I go to his big homie or homie that's old school. Yo, let me holler at you. What up, VI? Yo, bro, you know I'm the shit. I'm such a little bro, man. Like, tell that nigga who I am, bro. Excuse the N-word. Tell him who I am. Tell him to fall back. And they'll go, yo, you know who that is? That's a dinosaur. That's VI. You bugging. But me personally want to go do it to him. I'm prevented from doing it because I want to go home. I got 25 to life. I'm trying to make that board, number one. I ain't scared of nobody. I'm scared of what I'm going to do to somebody, repercussions of my actions, because it's a triple effect. I'm going to hit him. I'm going to go to the box. I come to the box, I'm at war. And it's going to keep going. It's I get killed, somebody get killed, or I stay in the jail the rest of my life. But I want to share something with y'all, bro. Why I got out of the game, right? My experience, people get out of the game is because either they get faded, right? Something traumatic happened to them. Something pushes them out to be able to get out, or they'll get out and they'll come back. The longer you're in the game, the harder it is to get out, because the habitual behavior pattern that you exhibited, this part of your DNA now. You have to be reculturalized. You have to be brought back down to the essence and try to re-educate yourself and refinement and have some type of culturalization, right? Some cultivating of the mind. But see, my experience was my little brother, his name was Joey. They called him Lil VI. Dude killed my little brother. The homie killed, I don't know the dude that killed him. He ain't know I was killing the homie brother. So my brother killed my brother. Like my real physical blood brother, a dude murdered him. So my family, like, yo, you gotta come to the funeral. I'm like, I ain't going to no funeral.
R.I.P.
R.I.P. I don't want to go to the funeral because I'm ashamed because I'm blood. And the blood killed my brother. But I got to show face. I got to go there. I go to the funeral. I'm seeing family members I don't recognize. People kissing me in my face. I'm like, yo, who's that? That's Aunt such and such. I don't know these. You know what I'm saying? I ain't seen my family so long. But after I left that funeral, bro, I made the determination that I wasn't going to be in the game no more. For my brother. Not because I ain't love the brothers that was in it that didn't do that to my brother, but for him and for my family. So when I finally got out the game, I didn't know what I was going to do. I ain't know. I was dealing with mad trauma. Like, I just wanted to get away from it for my brother. But you know how it changed, because I went to mental health, man. And I told the third, I said, I don't know. I used to be in the gang from then in my whole life. I'm confused. I don't have no friends. I'm from the yard. I don't know what to do. She said, why don't you take a program? Why don't you go back to school? I swear to you, man. That shit changed my life, B. By taking AVP, that shit worked. ART, going to college, getting to Nation of Islam. Then I started evolving. Once I opened that book and I started seeing why I thought the way I thought, because I was taking up behavior science at Mercy College. I started to understand the dynamics of the brain. And then that's how I was able to start fixing myself. That's how I start reaching out now. Now I'm asking for help. I'm no longer shying from these people. If I seen you in the yard and you wasn't in the game and I seen you as a good guy, I'm going to go next to you. Because I want to rub off. I want some of your good characteristics to rub off on me. Because I ain't have no good characteristics. I borrow shit from everybody. Oh, that's a good dude. Let me borrow this. I like his style. I like the way he talks to people. Let me borrow this from him. Let me keep these dudes around me to try to form myself. And that's what I end up doing, bro. Like,
so wow. So and I'm sure that we could probably argue the trauma that people experience within the gang, but I like how you're categorizing this regarding individuals who are no longer in the gang.
Yes.
And that's very important too, because there is a lot of trauma that we don't address.
Yes.
And I'm sure you're walking around, for those individuals who don't know how the prison environment is, when you do decide to say I'm walking away, you don't know if somebody's going to try to stab you, somebody's going to try to cut you. You know, you walking around on eggshell. Not saying you're a sucker, but you are a little bit more on point than you would if that wasn't the case.
Yeah, I think that war go through. You're at war.
Yeah, you're at war. So like, did you find your way back into the masjid where, you know, that became something that you found comfort and peace in? Because now you're no longer with the homies in the yard, but where were you able to find that level of peace and tranquility in that hostile environment? What was your sanctuary?
Well, my search, I was like I said, I write books, right? I had published a book while I was in prison, but through my boy Inch. Shout out Inch. Yo, what up?
When did you write it? When did you start writing it?
I wrote the book Well, yo, it was crazy. I was in downstate. I just came up north. There's nothing to read. So I said, you know what? I'm gonna write my own book. In fact, I wrote the book. It's called Josetta. I wrote the book. My man was locked up in the Fed, the kid Inch. And me and him was corresponding with each other. So he writes me a letter like, yo, bro, I just read this. I wrote this book. He sent me the book. So I'm like, yo, bro, I'll be writing too. So he like, yo, send me the book. I had it written out. I sent it to him. He had to do some edit to that book because I ain't gonna find the book was kind of chopped up. He put that thing together, so credit to that. You know what I mean? He really like structured it the way it was supposed to be structured, even though I had the quotation marks and everything. But when I first got that book, I swear to God, it was an upstate box. I was right next door to Magoo. So the book came. So I was like, yo, Magoo, yo, unit, like, yo, what up, homie? I said, yo, man, I got a book. Shit just came out. Nigga, stop lying. You lying. I'm dead ass. I had the book. Yo, look. That shit made my day, man. And then I'm saying, I got money off that book, man. But I did that. Then I wrote another book. I had a short story in a book called That Gangster Shit. But then I tried to put out a part 2. That ain't work because the dude was playing games with the money. So that shit wasn't working for me. But yeah, that's how that went. But I don't want to forget this point though, because it's important. Is that when he say the sanctuary to Mars, I couldn't do that.
I had a book right there. Look at the book V.I. wrote right there.
Facts.
And V.I., before you move on,
yes,
I mean, we read any and everything while we were incarcerated. But when I finally got a chance to get with you and you let me read that book,
yeah,
I was very impressed. I was like, yo, this is like a classic. Like, I'm surprised. No, for real, I'm surprised it wasn't up there with like Dutch and all of those type of books, because I said, yo, you know, my actual, I said, yo, you really wrote this? Like, yo, it was like, this was a classic. And I was like, yo, bro, like, where you going with this? Because you really have a skill set, and that's where I thought that you, and I know you still have a lot in your tank. I felt that you would continue to build upon this momentum, but we'll get to that.
Yeah.
But you were saying something. I apologize. Please forgive us.
Now I was gonna say I accept your apology. I was gonna say that I didn't want to go straight to the Mars because I didn't want to seem like I was using the Mars to run from the homies. You know what I'm saying? I just fell back. I ain't Damu no more, but I can't do what I really want to do because I don't want it to be perceived. Because I still think I'm tough at the time. I'm still thinking, yo, I'm a gangster. Like, y'all ain't gonna do, you know what I'm saying? But I couldn't just say, yo, I'm gonna go over here. Because I didn't want to bring problems to them people. I didn't want the Nation of Islam brothers to have to go through the turmoil of the politics that I would bring to them. I wanted to make sure when I went there, I was straight with y'all. Not y'all per se, but with the Damu. Like, yo, V.I., this is why you left, whatever other issues that was going on at the time, let's fix this. And then this is where I'm going to move on. I'm going to go here. So I had to do that first. I had to give people opportunity. You want some get back, I'm here. I ain't with nobody. What's up? After I give him some time, y'all ain't going to do nothing, I'm going to go over here. Because I want to go over there and bring a war to a whole nother religious organization now. That part.
Wow. So how long after you decided to, I don't want to say fall back, I want to say step up. I don't like using the term fall back, because fall back mean that somehow you just totally abandon a lot of those principles which you still live on. I mean, we all live on certain principles as men, but when did you decide to now step up and say, okay, I want to go to the mosque, and I feel like I've rectified any perceived challenges or threats to the homies, or, you know, any perceived thoughts you might have in your mind that, you know, people might move on you. You don't want to bring no beef over to the masjid. When did you finally take the initiative? How much time after stepping up before you made that move?
All right. Well, after I fell back, I ain't gonna say after I stepped up, I got some drama happened up there in Auburn. Got it on in the hallway. Nothing happened. Went outside. We went to basketball court. What's up? Got my joint. It got theirs. Ain't nothing happened. So after time, I'm going in a while, but I'm not really rocking a bow tie. I don't have my wings, so I'm not doing that at the time. But I'm still going there. I'm informed. I'm learning. What happened was, by me behaving myself, my counsel said, yo, Mr. Warren, you due for a transfer. Where you want to go? Now, it wasn't you get kicked out the jail, you go in the box. Now she's asking me where you want to go.
What jail is that?
This was in 2012. You know what I mean? She's like, where you want to go? I said, I want to go to Sing Sing. I'm going to tell you something, man. Jail was not good for nobody, but Sing Sing for me was the best thing that ever happened to me, brother. I'm dead ass serious, man.
Sing Sing not as a blood, but as a person that's in a while.
As of in a while. Not even as officially in a while. I'm in a while, but I'm not Fruit of Islam. I'm not F a while.
Thank you for that clarification, Mikey. Thank you. Thank you.
Yes, thank you.
Because I was just Sing Sing and I ain't last too long. You know?
Exactly. You know what I mean? But going there
as
a normal person,
couple of months.
Yo, bro, it was beautiful. Because let me tell you something. I went there and my mind is already changing. I'm already clicking. I already know I want to better myself. I go to NOI there. But all the NOI there, I knew them. Like Sammy, Mark, Tai Chi, Pun. Like these guys are people, you know what I mean? Dudes that you looked at like, all right, these are positive dudes. They had Blaze, Jai, they had some stuff, something called the Forgotten Voices there, where they had CNN coming in there, NBC. It was a different type of movement. Now dudes think about freedom. That's what I start thinking about. Now it's thinking about how the hell am I gonna make this parole board? You know what I'm saying? I killed that dude, got the man name on my arm. I'm in the newspapers. This shit about to get crazy. They gonna hit me to the sunburn. That's how my mind was. I have to do something. I have to show a consistent pattern of adjustment to make this parole. That was my real reason for taking all these programs. But I started learning as I was taking these programs. I started evolving. So I went from going ART to facilitate ART, right? I went from going to ASAT to being a clerk for ASAT. Everything I was a part of, I just became the facilitator of the program. Now I take the prison age council education. Now I become the facilitator and teaching other people about prison age council education. I was the school teacher, the assistant teacher. I'm helping dudes get GEDs, and I'm in college. So these are the type of things that I started doing. Then I became a part of the liaison committee, IOC. Now I'm the voice for the population. But I'm like Tom Brady too, though. I ain't the guy walking down the company, ain't gonna pass nothing. You know what I'm saying? They go VI pass, yeah, let me get there. I'm going to the next tier. I'm gonna do what the brother need to do. You feel me? If it's legit. Cause it's just what it is. You know what I mean? You voting for me. You might have voted for me just because you know I'm gonna pass this bowl of food. You ain't gonna vote for me because I'm gonna bring these issues. But that's when we started going before the superintendent. We started addressing the concerns of the population. That made me want to do more for people. And that's subsequently what I started doing. I just started helping other people. And I got into the habit of helping people, and it started helping me because I was healing myself at the same time because I was helping other people. If that even makes sense.
So, you know, so explain. And for the record, you mentioned ART. These are for individuals who might not be aware of these programs. These are programs that help individuals address their anger issues, and for individuals who have violent crimes, in some instances even violent tickets or pattern have displayed a pattern of violence throughout the course of their lives, and so on and so forth. They're required to take ART as a condition for them before they go before
every violent case
and TAC and so on and so forth. And if you have any drugs on your record, a requirement is that you take ASAT and so on and so forth. But you mentioned the Islam thing. So was it something as you began to delve a little bit deeper into that you realized that this is something for me, and I see that it's helping with my evolution, it's helping me heal, it's helping me become the person that I envision myself being in terms of preparing to make that transition back out to society?
Mm-hmm. Well, I put it like it definitely did, right? Even though I started having conflicts within that too. Because, you know, as you start learning things, you know how you start understanding things a little different. And you see certain things like, I don't know about this. Like, you know what I mean? So if I...
Hold on. VI, we can't hear you.
VI. Your sound went out, bro.
Your sound went out.
Nah, we can't hear you, but you can
if
still hear us.
If somebody trying to call you or you texting, that might be it too.
Is somebody trying to call you? Nah, we can't hear you, but can you hear us?
Can you hear us?
Nah, we still can't hear you. Can you hear us?
Somebody trying to call you? He's pressing hold.
Nah, you have to come out and come back in because if we get it.
I'm new with this phone thing too.
Oh, you had it on mute.
Yeah, by accident.
Now don't worry.
That's another thing. Yo, let me tell you
it.
something, man.
We get it.
Hold
we
up.
get it.
Yo, my day one in society was bananas. Yo, bro, like I'm talking about bananas.
Hold on. Don't blow that up. We gonna get to that.
Inshallah. Get to that.
So speak about the contradictions about what you said. Why you began to see things. We gonna get to that, inshallah.
All right. The contradiction is this, right? Is that see me, once you start loving yourself, you start loving everybody, don't care what they look like. Even white people. You understand what I'm saying? So I can't subscribe to a white man being inherently a devil. They could do some devilish things. Some white people, just like some black people, could do some devilish things. I couldn't grab that concept, right? That was one thing. And then another thing was about some moon pouring water onto the earth. I mean, it was just some real kind of other stuff. I don't want to shout out to Nation of Islam. I love you, brothers, that helped me bring peace to myself, help me heal myself. I don't want to bash the nation. You know what I'm saying? But for me, certain things just didn't sit right with me. You know what I mean? So I was like, I don't know, but I kept doing it for other reasons. I said, I don't believe this part, but I believe that part.
Yeah.
But as time goes on, when you like, I was even a minister for Nation of Islam, the in-house minister. So now I was tasked with the responsibility of teaching people some of the tenets that I didn't believe. So now it's come a conflict like, come on, man, you don't believe this yourself. Why are you telling this to these people?
Yes.
So that's why I stopped, you know what I'm saying? Stop going to that. You know what I'm saying? I'm type of, I'm a universal guy. Like I go to Christianity church, take something from there. I go to Sunni, take something from there. Go to Nation of Islam, take something from there. That's what I do. I don't prescribe to just one religion. I just believe in a higher power. Do good and receive good.
I like the fact that you're speaking about this transformation part. That you know you yourself admit that. Excuse me, hold on. Like that, baby?
Thank you.
All right. Wife need help opening up that joint. All right, so pardon me, y'all. So I like the fact that you're speaking about making that transition from being in the gang, going through a lot. You discussed a lot, but at the same time, you want to come home. Everybody wants to come home. We all want to get out of that cage, and I believe that everybody should be walking up out that cage, right? We can agree to that. But do you think after everything you've been through that you can honestly say objectively that you were ready to leave that cage, that you've made that transformation, that you have experienced true redemption and rehabilitation? You are ready to get up out that spot. And why? Why did you feel like that?
I'm gonna tell you, right? When I left Sing Sing, I went to a medium. I went to Otisville. Everything I did in Sing Sing, I did in Otisville. I was IOC. I was on the grievance committee. I was teaching pace. It was something. This was my nature now. I wanted to give back, and that's how I was giving back. But I'm gonna tell you something. When I was in John Jay College in Otisville, I met some people there. There was this lady named Ellen Perez, man. She said, yo, Mr. Warren, I'm not gonna have this job for long. I'm gonna leave. When I leave, I'm gonna do parole prep. And I'm gonna come back and get you out of here. That's what she told me. A couple of months go by, I get a call, and I get a legal visit. Some lawyers came to see me. And I'm talking to say, yo, man, you deserve to be free, man. The way you talk, the things you're doing in here, we're gonna help you get out of here. And they started doing the mock interviews and all that, but they seen the sincerity in my heart. And I'm gonna tell you something. I went to LCTA board. People don't make that board, man. You go to LCTA board, you get hit, and you just go back 6 months. But when I went to that parole board, I knew they was gonna let me go, bro.
And for the record, explain what the LCTA board is for those of our listeners out there who don't know what that is.
All right. Well, for a person that has a life sentence on the back of their sentence, you have no good time, right? You can't do 85% of your time and come home on parole. If I had 10 years, 5 years post, I do 8 years and 6 months and did the rest on parole. If you have 25 to life, that's not afforded to you. But if you go to college, you take a food handler certificate or apprenticeship in a vocational program, you can get limited time credit that'll be allowed to you. It don't mean that you're definitely going home on the early months, six months, because what happens is if you go to board, let's say in December, if you release in December, if you get an LCTA, you'll be released in June. But you have to fit a criteria. You have to show a consecutive pattern of adjustment, right? You can't have any major misbehavior infractions for the last 5 years, right? These are the type of things you have to do to fit the criteria. But like I said, it's rarely that a person make this parole board. But when I went to that parole board, when they cut that camera, I was smiling. And I had Cruz. Bellinger, and DeMatheson. These are the worst parole officers you can get. They smacking everybody. 5 people that went to my parole that day, went to have parole, they refused to go, saying they left their paperwork. So they didn't even go. They just refused. But me, I said, I'm going in there. I ain't scared of these people. Because I ain't code switching, man. Code switching is when you start speaking another way that you don't normally speak. I'm going to represent who I am, speak my truth, and show sincerity in how I feel and what I've done. I wrote the victim apology letter to the victim's family with a poem. I did a lot of stuff. I had a lot of reasonable assurance letters. I had a lot of letters from organizations. So when I went there, she asked me, said, Mr. Warren, what happened? Once I started telling her what happened, I started crying. Like it was general tears because I'm telling someone of a crime that I'm ashamed of that I've done. And that just brought me to tears. And I explained to him even what happened. People that's go parole, if y'all know anybody, tell them, do not lie to these people, man. They know every bullshit you can sell these people.
Everything.
They know.
Facts.
You understand? They know everything. Don't even lie. There's no make, because let me tell you something. They knew they was gonna let me go, but they want to see if I was gonna take it away from myself. She say, Mr. Warren, so this is your first felony, right? I see. No, man, this is my 3rd felony. Which was actually my 2nd felony, because the first one was a while. Oh, Mr. Warren, I see your last ticket was 10 years. No, ma'am, my last ticket was last year. Like they was trying to say certain things. She ain't speaking none of my disciplinary record. I got like 20 tier 3s, like 50 tier 2s. I mean, I was a demon. But that last 10, 11, 12 years, it was a consistent pattern of adjustment. It wasn't like, oh, you coming to us 2 years early, you want to get your life together. I'm showing them I was doing this since 2012. I went to the board 2023. I'm showing you a consistent pattern of adjustment. This is what I've been doing consistently. So when and let me tell you, when I left, everybody, yo, VI, you going home. You made that board. I'm like, I don't know, man, probably rock. Nah, I'm telling you, going home. Yo, bro, when I got that paper, I ain't even cry nothing. I ain't faint. I ain't do none of that because I knew that I worked for that. I knew that I was going to be rewarded for what I've done, for all the positivity I've done, because karma is real. Karma works both spectrums. You do good, you get good. You know what I'm saying? Still karma. So things I was doing, it paid off. Only thing was on my mind was what I'm going to do when I get out of prison. Let me tell you a perfect example. A woman, she's pregnant. There's only 2 things she can do with this baby. She can either abort the baby or have the baby. She can't determine what color this baby's eyes is going to be. She can't determine the eyebrows, eyelashes, because the eyebrows, eyelashes ain't for the womb. You don't need the eyes in the womb. You're in a bag of water. You need the eyes to see when you get out. You need your eyelashes, and your eyebrows to block the sun. You need your nose to smell, not to smell inside the womb, but for outside. So I was being prepared for society without me even knowing, right? I was growing my ears to listen, my eyes to see, my nose for my senses. You know what I mean? My brain for my IQ. So I was already being formed. I was just waiting to be delivered.
I love how you put that.
Right.
That was it, bro.
I'm glad that you also felt the need to enroll yourself into some college type of setting because that's important out here, and not just because of the educational value, the value of the education that you gain from the experience, but the networking experience because you were involved in Hudson Link, right?
Yes, sir.
And so Hudson Link's higher education and prison program, they're stationed in Austin, New York, and they were able to help you upon your release as well. But see, so just you getting connected to them on the inside had a lot to do with helping you make that transition coming on the outside. What speak to how you've first of all, how much time did you actually do? I think you did about 24 years and 6 months.
Yes, sir.
And what has your transition been? Because you were just about to go into working on this device. So speak to what happened. Like you said, the first day you came home. First of all, how long have you been home? And speak to what you was about to speak to about your first day out.
All right, I came home September 21st of last year. But when you upstate, all you see is that wall. You can't see beyond the wall. So you don't see all these bike lanes and all this in the street. You know what I mean? You can't see none of this. It's just a big ass wall. You can't see nothing. You living in the world, inside the world, right? When I went to the medium, it's nothing but trees. You can't see nothing. But when I got to Queensboro, and I looked out the window, I'm like, yo, this look crazy. The bikes, I didn't know the bikes had motor on it. Like you could drive a bike with a motor, like a motorcycle. I don't know none of this. Big shout out to Betty. That's my girl, man. She came to pick me up from the jail, bro. Like, I swear to God, man, the day I got out, she was right there, man. I didn't know how to use a train or nothing because I want to buy a token. She had to walk me through it. Yo, you got to go to the machine, press English, and I didn't know how to do none of that. And what really messed me up was, like I said, I'm walking down the street and a whole bunch of bikes just coming at me. I'm thinking they're trying to hit me. I don't know you could just drive a bike through the streets like that. And then I see people with the bicycles in a job thing. Oh my goodness, like they are so discriminatory towards a person that's getting out of prison, man. Like I had 3 jobs since I've been home. Shout out to Hudson Link. Hudson Link gave me a job first day home. I was working construction first day out the gate.
Shout out to Hudson Link. Shout out to Hudson Link. That is my family
shopping.
For real.
They did the damn thing. You know what I'm saying? But I ended up coming to New York and got into an OSHA program. I got an OSHA license, certificate and site safety. But it's been a constant struggle. Now I got a permanent job now. I just landed a job. But up to this point, it's been a constant struggle. And I ain't gonna lie, at times, like I know some people that's still dipping and diving.
Hold on, but what's been a constant struggle? What exactly? Explain that. And I don't mean to. Please forgive me for cutting you off, V.
Yeah, that's all good.
What has been a constant struggle? What?
Controlling my sex drive.
Like,
bro.
That's a big struggle,
bro. When you in jail, looking at these sex magazines, you want to see these chicks now on the porn. Yeah, like I done been seeing you all these years in jail, Pinky. I want to see how you look. But your girl, like, yo, I'm right here. You looking at porn. But she don't understand, like, this is what I've been looking at for the last 20-something years. Yeah. I want to see what the hell I've been looking at. I done had 3 phones broken already. You know what I'm saying? Just watching porn. You know what I mean? And then the sex drive is crazy. I've been denied sex for so long that I want it all the time.
So you got they don't understand. So you got post-traumatic porn syndrome too.
Yeah. With the mommy, son, it's crazy. And it's like, yo, what's up? Like, yo, I'm saying, like, I don't want to put that out there. But yeah, that's been my struggle. My struggle was with that. And also, how can I say, old friends.
Mikey B is stupid. He said post-traumatic porn syndrome. Dumb, man.
Yeah, man. Another struggle of mine.
Fuck me, V. Go ahead, bro, man.
Now another struggle. I conquered this struggle,
that porn
but
is
I
real,
felt bitterness.
You felt what?
For real, though, I felt bitterness for people I felt that should have been by my side that wasn't throughout my incarceration. Like certain family members. Like I really felt bitter that I had to come home to a shelter. Like, why can't I go to my family house? But in their mind, it's like, because we don't know who you are yet. We don't know if you the same crazy dude that went to jail. You kind of shoot shit up and got police knocking on our door, kicking our door in. They scared to let me in their own house, my own family. So I had to come to terms with, you know what, VI, man, you made this like that. You made your own family not trust you because of the shit you did when you was young.
Accountability.
So now I got to come out here and prove to them that I'm who I profess to be.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? And as I started doing that, a lot of families start coming back. Oh, come over here for Christmas. Right? Come over for Thanksgiving. They invited me over to the house because they see that I ain't that same person. Y'all might not have kept tune with me when I was in jail, but I evolved. But now, you know what I'm saying?
Please forgive me. But you said something that was also key, my brother. You said that some people are still in the mix. You said what was that phrase you used? Go back to
them to life.
They still in the life. Now, what do you mean by that? That you've been going
it's like
24 years and they're still where they're at based on the choices that they've made? Is that what you're making reference to?
Exactly.
Okay.
That's a struggle of mine too, because I want to be around these guys. I grew up with them.
Yeah.
But I'm like, how can I be with you? What if you throw something on the floor when the police come? They might throw it on me. What if I get in your car and you got a gun under your seat? That might be my gun. You know what I'm saying? What if I'm with you and you got a secret indictment? Now I'm a part of your indictment. But it's my man. I grew up with him. I love him. But I can't hang with him. And that's hurt that I want to spend time with one of my bros, especially a dude that did time with me, not locked up, but like did the bid. Like dude's writing me, sending me money. Now I'm home. I want to hang with you, but I'm scared. I'm scared. I might go back to jail. I'm scared of prison. I don't want to go back to prison. So if I got to tell my own friend that took care of me in jail, yo, bro, good looking for what you did. I can't fuck with you in the street. Excuse my language. You know what I'm saying? And I got some comrades that, shout out to my boy Hug, man. Like, real talk, bro. He did the whole 25 years with me, bro. Like, the whole bid, man. The whole bid came to see me, send me money, packages, everything. Not even family members did it like that, you heard? Like, that's my man. Like, that's my brother. So he's on the right track. But some other people that I have a relationship with that did right by me, they will, V.I., what's up? You don't love us no more? You want to hang out? Yeah, I want to hang out, but I don't want to hang out with you. I don't want to say it to him like that, but how do you say that? How do you tell your friend that, yo, bro, like, I love you, but I love you from a distance, bro? Now, I got to FaceTime you on the phone. I can't hang with you. We can hang out like this. We could do a Zoom, but me hang with you on the street, nah, I can't do that, bro.
I think you raise a valid point, and I'm sure everybody on this panel can agree. I think our success, and I'm just speaking from myself, and then I'll let Mikey and KK speak for themselves. But my success has been as a result of my disassociation from my past. And I'm saying that in all honesty. I see people in passing. I got love for people. I do. But I can't be in those same places. I can't hang out with the same people like we did over 25 years ago. I can't do it. And it's not because I don't have those feelings for you. It's just that, I mean, honestly, I'm going in a different direction, and not saying that they're in the back. No, I'm just saying that where they are at is content with them, and that's fine. But what I'm trying to do, I know that comes with potential risk. Yes. And I know what comes with that stuff. You dig what I'm saying? So it's when you now see yourself or envision yourself being in a potential situation that can ultimately lead you in a place where you just came from spending 25 years in.
Facts.
You got to do everything in your power to insulate yourself from anything that poses a threat to your freedom and your livelihood.
But at the same time, like I have to still have some balls out here, like real talk, because
that's crazy. You said that because that's a learning. It's still a learning curve even for me, because I've been dealing with family, and it's like learning to stay away from certain stuff and just really focusing on what you want to do. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we get open from the feeling because you out, you're free, you do want to show love, and you do want to embrace people that you've never been around. But it's like, damn, I don't want to feel like I'm alone. But at the same token, I gotta walk the path I gotta walk. You know, you gotta keep it the same way you've been keeping it, bro.
Right. Especially like making that transition out. Making that transition out here is the same thing, bro. It's people that's gonna want to push and pull you in all different directions, but you got to do you. You got to do what you need to be doing out here, and you got to stay focused. And you can't be scared to say no and move in your own direction, bro. This is your life. Like right now, I'm in transition. There's a lot of people I want to holler at, and people got a lot of stuff going on, like you said. And I know they got a lot of stuff going on. And unlike myself, I don't live in the past, bro. I live in the present. I live in the future. So I might come up here and we might talk about things that we can use from my past to analyze. But I live in the present and the future, bro. All that past kitty stuff, bro, I'm not on that. A lot of dudes, mute yourself real quick, KK. A lot of people that I once communicated with that was in gangs, and I don't talk to everybody. I don't contact, and I love a lot of people from a distance.
No doubt.
Even some of my real day ones, I don't even talk to them because they're on a different time, like you said. And let me tell you something. I have gave people the opportunity, and once I seen they were moving certain ways, and it could be a detriment to my life and my family, then I don't got no problem with cutting that off and being truthful with that. Like, yo, listen, bro, you on this time right here, I'm not on that. So I'm gonna stay over here, and I love you, but you gotta stay over there. And that's really that, bro. Don't be the man that you are, bro. You a man. You know what I'm saying? You realize that manhood in prison.
No
You
doubt.
realize that manhood through a lot of hard trials, a lot of tribulations, and you went through a lot of stuff that a lot of other people didn't have to go through. Strengthened your character.
Yes.
And we got to stand on that. I stand on that out here. I don't care how nobody feel.
Facts.
I don't care about none of that, bro. I'm
But if a person really care about
I'm
you,
doing the right thing for my family and myself. I'm working. I'm doing the right thing out here, bro. I'm not doing nothing wrong but myself or my people. So if you feel I'm doing something wrong, that means our relationship is wrong.
Facts.
That means we don't have the right relationship if you feel what I'm doing right now with my life is wrong.
But I want to say something real quick. The reason why I said I got to grow some balls, right, is because being so scared to go to jail, you put up with some bull crap out here. I'm at the store. Take an example. I'm waiting in line. These little young kids come skip me, yo, and do whatever. Instead of me, yo, bro, you want to see me on the line? But I felt like by me not saying nothing, let him get his stuff. I'm going to get my stuff. No conflict. I go on my day. But you know what I mean? But you tell somebody else, like, yo, they're like, why you ain't saying nothing to him? You just let him skip you like that? Yeah, because I'm so worried about me saying, trying to avoid a conflict. I'm still gonna get my stuff. It might delay me a couple of seconds. I deal with the delay instead of arguing back and forth with this young cat, and getting a whole different type of situation. But that comes a time where I'm letting a lot of stuff slide, where I'm supposed to be willing to just check it and not be afraid to speak up and say when I see something wrong, bro. That's been my problem.
Trust in yourself, bro. You fresh. You still. I've been home 2 years now, and it's still things that I'm adjusting to. So you like fresh. You even got a year out, yeah, right?
Facts.
So it's that adjusting and you seeing it now. You gonna come to terms with it, but you being humble, you being patient, and that is the way to be. I mean, because now you're gonna grow to a point where you know when you can say something or when not to say something.
Yeah.
You're gonna learn that just from moving around, you know what I'm saying, going different places. But it's a growing process. And always just keep that in mind, is looking at it like it's a continuous growing process out here, bro. Even with the people, and I wanted to say something. Yeah, I wanted to say something to Mikey's point. When people see that, the same people you may have to cut off or tell them that, yes, I'm over here. This is what I learned. If somebody really care about you and they for you, they're gonna support you and respect whatever you're doing, bro. You know what I mean? And they'll be like, cool. They may remind, because now sometimes a person to remind me, like, oh damn, I can't even come. Okay, go ahead. I'm gonna catch up with you later, bro. We got this going on. And you know what I mean? They'll have that much respect for you just from your walk and them having that thing. If they don't have it, then it really shows that they ain't supposed to be around. But
hey, yo, we coming up on 1:45. I wanna say, if you're just pulling up to We Locked In, I'm your host Moshe Canty. I'm here with my co-host KK and Mikey B. We have our esteemed guest Vincent V.I. Warren. And we're talking about post-traumatic gang syndrome and his road to redemption. V.I. just came home a few months ago after doing 24 years and 6 months, and we've spoken about he's spoken about a lot of key points. But I know you guys may have some questions in the chat. Before we do that, please hit the subscribe button, hit that like button, put your thoughts in the chat, share this live. This is a deep live. We are unearthing a lot during this conversation with VI, man. Hit that like button. I'm seeing that there's 100-something people in the chat, but only 70-something likes. Please hit that like button, man. But if you got any questions y'all want to pose to VI, please, man, please do so, man. Don't be shy. He's here. He's very, very articulate. My brother loves answering questions. Let's get this thing going. You know, he wants to clarify things. He's here to set the record straight. So, you know, please ask your questions in the chat. Mikey, I saw a question earlier.
I got him started.
Copy. You ready? You ready?
I got a couple questions. Let's start with B. Baker. I got a question for the panel. With all that you guys been through with the constant war with police and enemies, how much time did y'all dedicate to working out mentally and physically on a daily?
Yeah, VR.
Yeah, VR, set it off.
Well, the workout thing I used to do a lot because I just wanted to get my body right. But working out my mind, I'm always reading something. I'm always doing something to keep myself busy. So at the same time of me doing that, I've received a lot of information. I learned a lot. So I would say on a constant basis, if it's 24 hours in a day, I spent 2 or 3 hours of that reading because I was in college. I had to do a lot of papers, so I had to read a lot of stuff.
Well,
go ahead, Mo.
I worked out. You guys know, man. On the inside, that's all I freaking did was work out and read. I was in the box all the damn time. So, but that's what I mean. That's all I did was read and work out. I love to read. I'm a voracious reader. So, to VI's point, in a 24-hour day period, I would break my time up into allotments. In the morning time, I would work out for an hour. I would break that time up later on in the day by studying anything from psychology to philosophy to books on military to books on economics and government, whatever the topic needed. I spent hours working out daily as well as studying to educate myself mentally. So I pass it to you guys.
KK.
Yeah, it was constant, bro. Just to put it in a time frame, rec in the morning, have an hour and a half, 2 hour rec. The whole period would probably be going in that morning. That morning rec was dedicated to working out. Probably go to a program or something at night, but even before that, it'd be some type of reading or something done in the cell or going over something. And then we would go to an extra class or something, which may be an hour and a half or whatever class we may go to studying at night. So it was a constant thing. So at least 4 or 5 hours a day just dedicated to just, building, working the mind and body, not to mention the soul. Love philosophy, love religion, studied it avidly. So yeah. It was something constant. Man.
What about you, Mike?
Matter of fact, this is something that I always teach, the youngsters after I got, my mind right. I would use eight hours a day. I would tell them 8 hours a day and what you want to do when you go home, like a job. So for 8 hours, the programs I was taking, because I, early on in my bid, I was pretty smart. I completed all the programs that I actually needed early. So I would write my books. I would read. I had a lot of stuff on my walls as far as scriptures from the Bible that I would read every day. My goals, I would write them down and put them all on the wall. I would read those every day in the morning and every day in the night. But my 8 hours came to, the workout. My workout was probably an hour and a half to 2 hours, or one, depending on my program schedule and my rec schedule. But I would do graphic design, I would do printing, I would do the things that I really wanted to do that I know I was coming home to do for those 8 hours, and I would consider that time, no matter if it was clerk work, programs. Like, late in my bid, I understood that everything that I did with my time, it had to play a role in what I was going home to do when I came home. If I didn't think it was going to play a role in my actual plan for when I was being released, then I didn't do it. I just did those things. You know what I'm saying? So 8 hours a day for me.
All right. Let's go to the next question.
All right, here we go. The Dreamer. What was the status of VI and Pretty Black? I believe he was also from Edenwald Projects. You heard that, VI?
Yeah, I heard it. Pretty. Rest in peace, Pretty Black. Pretty Black was my man. I don't want to talk about the relationship with me and Pretty Black. I'm a transparent guy. Sometimes when you talk about too many things, other people get hurt in a situation. So I'm gonna just leave that like that. Pretty Black was a good guy, man. Rest in peace, Pretty Black.
Okay, that's healthy.
All right. Yeah, I know Pretty Black. R.I.P. I know him too. You know what I'm saying? R.I.P. to Pretty Black. Next question is it's from Bville E. He said, "When did you realize?" Mute yourself, KK. When did you realize enough was enough on the streets?
Well, enough was enough on the streets. I realized enough was enough in prison. Mind you, this is my first time being in the street in this modern era. You know what I mean?
So when did you realize
I
enough was enough?
Well, I realized enough was enough when my brother got murdered.
Wow.
Because it impacted me because it was my actual family. By seeing that happen to him, that would allow me to actually have empathy for the family of my crime. So that's when I knew enough was enough when that happened.
All right, what's the next question?
That was all that I had starred. I don't see any new questions. I see Zeke Black is in the building. He's he know you.
Yeah, shout out Zeke Black.
Shout out Zeke Black. What up?
Shout it out.
Well, let's give the floor to VI, man. VI, you spoke about a lot, man. I'm gonna just do a quick little recap. You spoke about your upbringing, and during that process, you spoke about the challenges that coming from a dysfunctional home and the challenges that you had as a young individual growing up in Edenwald in the Bronx, which we know was a very tough time, tough period, tough neighborhood. I can only imagine. Shout out to Edenwald Projects and peoples out there. You spoke about also going to youth detention centers as a young individual. Your mother passing away, your father being incarcerated. I can see that intergenerational fight in your family from your father to you. It's just a lot with that. But you spoke also about, that anger that you had as a young individual and that ultimately contributing to you spending the time in prison and you just having this need to want to prove to individuals that you was somebody that, was violent and so on and so forth. So you kind of created this personality, about yourself, right? Where people kind of expected you to be violent. And you also spoke what's most important about mental health issues. And I think that's something that we need to really, really touch on in our Therapy Thursdays when we bring that back. But I also want to speak that, that redemption part where you went to prison and you redeemed yourself. And now you're back out here. You got 2 jobs. You hit me the other day. Like I just saw you at the hiring event the other day.
Facts.
You shout to Ashan. You and Ashan were both there among other individuals, man. But just the fact that you now have two jobs, you have something to look forward to. Let me just say that all this is going to come into play for you. You know what I mean? Everything is going to start manifesting itself. But what final words do you want to leave the listeners that have listened to your story, man? We truly appreciate it, man. But what final words do you want to leave with everybody, man? You got the floor, bro.
I want to say that first, what mentioned colored people, female named Tanaya, she's good people's, man. She held me down throughout the years. She wasn't my girl, but she was people's, my Uncle Jesse, the rest of my family, and my lady, Egypt, Betty, love you, know that. I want to say this to society, right, that even though I've done something wrong in society, I believe that I deserve a second chance, at least a second look, right? I'm not trying to trust me off the bat, but at least look my way. Give me a second look. Don't put me in a stereotype, right? Don't identify me as this guy that's a jailbird, been in jail his whole life, and you could just pull a wool over my eyes, or you could just tell me anything, or you could handle me any particular way you feel is acceptable to you. Treat me like a person that had never had a felony before. Allow me the opportunity to show you who I am instead of you judging me for who I used to be, right? And also, I would like to say I apologize to the people that I hurt, and also apologize to the people that other gang members hurt, because I was a part of that, right? I was one of the guys from the first generation that set this whole thing in motion. Like wasn't there when it first started. I wasn't there when it first started, but I was there in the beginning. And a lot of things that we've done, I've done, allowed this circle of violence and hate to keep going. But I also want society to know that everybody that's in the gang is not evil. Everybody that's a part of this blood organization is not violent. There are some very mature people within blood that want to do the right thing for the community, right? That want to protect their environment, protect their community. I've met a lot of sophisticated and intelligent blood gang members, Like everybody's not like that. Just because you see somebody with a red do-rag or red flag, don't just automatically think this dude's a piece of S, you know what I mean? Or his life ain't worth nothing. Everybody's life is worth something because God gave his breath. But as long as I'm alive, I'm gonna be out here trying to educate people and try to transform lives as best I can. If you know any places where they need somebody to come talk to the youth, I'm willing to do it for free. You ain't gotta pay me. You know what I'm saying? I'm willing to go. If there's traveling, you have to pay me for travel expenses. But anyway, I can't give back to the community. I'm willing to do that, and just give me a shot. Let me come talk to you to the kids in your schools.
Well, Bville E asked the question. I'm assuming this is the last one. What advice would you give my nephew who stays in and out of jail?
The advice that I would give your nephew is that the things he do now will subsequently affect him in the future. It may not affect him now because he's young, but the more you keep putting on that rap sheet, the more time they're gonna give you when they catch you with the one they want to catch you for. So they'll let you slip and slide, a little misdemeanor, little felony, little petty crimes, but then they get the 2-time predicate and the 3-time persistent felons, and they're gonna put you away. You want to be without a woman. You want to the officer to tell you when to take a shower. You know, you want to eat this slop because they don't got food no more. They give you soybean, man, and people growing titties in there. You know, everybody emotionally getting full of estrogen. I'm pretty sure you don't want that life for yourself. So, young man, if you value your life, if you love your family, you want to do more for yourself. If you know how to do it, reach out, ask somebody to help you. If you're going through any mental health problems, ask for help. There's nothing wrong with seeing a therapist sitting on the couch and letting some man talk to you, or you telling him what you experience. All of us need an outlet to vent and bring this up to someone. So don't be ashamed of that.
Wow, man. Yo, man, we love you, VI, man.
Love you too, bro.
Yo, man.
Appreciate y'all.
We love you, bro. That's right.
Yo, man.
Well said. Well said.
No, man. Thank you for coming up, man. We love you, bro.
All right, yo. Love y'all too, bro.
Yo, man. Thank you. Stay safe, man.
You too, man.
And inshallah, we'll stay in touch, my brother. We love you, man. Thank you.
I love you too, bro.
Man.
You already know, peace, bro. Love you, bro.
Peace.
Thank you, brother.
Wow, that was like a.
It's a lot to digest.
That was a deep one. That was a great piece of work right there, man. That was I love to see the transition. I love to see the growth. You know, I seen him early in his life when he was heavy on gang banging and doing what he does in the gang. I was in Comstock with him. I was on Raggers Island with him. I was in Comstock with him in 2005.
Yeah.
And to see the transition that he made and what he's bringing back to the community, that's a great thing. I think he can, especially where, him being from the Bronx and what the Bronx is going through, they could use a person of his stature, and I'm talking about the man that he is today and what he has been through to help them. You know what I'm saying? To help them deal with, the gang stuff that's going on in their community right now, bro. The community that he's from. They could definitely use his voice. He has a strong voice. A lot of individuals know him. And he knows he has great insight into the gang structure, into coming out of the gang, into changing your life, into dealing with, mental health problems. He can help these kids out here a lot, man. He can do a lot for the community. I hope that these organizations use brothers like him, to help these kids. If they really have an interest in saving these kids, then they got to get more people with voices like him into these organizations. You see what I'm saying?
I agree.
It's great. One of the things that
well said.
That just stuck out to me the most was the fact of not just the story, because it resonates with a lot of us, like all of us who actually went through similar struggles and similar pains, but the fact that like you're not alone. And this is like I just want to tell people out there, like you're not alone, man. You know what I mean? And a lot of times we get caught up in so much stuff because we feel that way. We be feeling like we ain't got nobody. We got to put on to get acceptance or to get recognized or whatever. And it just internalizing that. Like anybody out there going through something, like know that like you're not alone. And it's funny because it made me think of myself with me. And even though you got this family, it's fat. Like I felt that way. Like I had to tell myself that and continue to tell myself that. You know what I mean? Because we go back into these habits where we deal with issues on our own, not wanting to say nothing or, trying to figure it out. I got it. I'm going to be strong and boom. But at the end of the day, man, we need each other and know that you're not alone.
Yeah, and that's a good point, right? You know, and as we've gotten older, it's all right to be vulnerable and tell your vulnerable truth. There's nothing wrong with saying, you know, when I was at my lowest point was after my mother died. You know, I mean, my sister, you know, died in a car accident in '99. But when I dropped on my knees and I called upon the law for help, was after I lost my mother in the box, and I didn't know, like, you know, I didn't know how my life would turn out. You know, I just was like, I just need help. And I couldn't get help from you, KK, Mikey. I wasn't looking for that type of help. I wasn't looking for a visit. I wasn't looking for, you know what I'm saying, a bowl of food. You know, I wasn't looking for that type of help. I needed help internally. I needed that type of help. I needed peace. I needed, you know, I needed something to uplift me and really give me the strength that I needed to get through this tough situation. And I understand what he had those anxieties, those concerns, and not knowing how individuals would feel that, yo, Mo say he a Muslim now. I thought about that. You dig what I'm saying? I was, you know, oh, is he lying? Oh, is he going to the mosque because he trying to get administration off his back? Nah, I'm going to the mosque because I'm tired and I want to be a Muslim now. I just don't want to be doing this stuff no more. You know what I'm saying? And I'm all right with that. And I'm cool with that. So, and like, we got to be all right to be human and to be vulnerable and to grow and to look at the experiences from our past and say it's all right for us to evolve and get better with time. Now look at us. We out here now with our families. We married men. Like, we out here working. We doing things. And this is all because what? Of choices we made. You dig what I'm saying? He made a horrible choice. You made poor choices. Mikey made poor choices. And look, it led us to a cage. But now we still have that opportunity to do what? Make a choice. And our choices have been rewarding us because we've been doing good. And that's how life is, bro. You dig what I'm saying? We just got to keep moving forward, keep elevating, and keep supporting brothers like that come home, you dig what I'm saying, and who need opportunities. Because like he just said, he's living in a shelter right now. I hope that didn't fly over anyone's head, that he's living in a shelter right now. So he needs housing, but he has 2 jobs, which is a good start. So he can start saving some of his money up, and he has to go through a grind. And we got to help the brother out. The best thing we can do is try to help the brother to the best of our ability, go from one phase of his life after that transition to another. And that's where we can come in and assist him where he needs assistance at. But I mean, any final thoughts you guys want to say, or are we pretty much done?
Yeah, I just want to say something real quick though. But yeah, bro, I ain't gonna lie, man. That was I didn't even know all that stuff about VI. You know, I called him my brother for so many years.
His brother getting killed by a homie.
I didn't know all that stuff about VI, even his upbringing.
Crazy.
Like Smitty has said earlier in the chat, you never know what people is going through.
Word.
But I think he would make a great, credible messenger in the community.
Facts.
I think he would make a great, credible messenger, and they all over New York. So I know he's gonna get in where he fits in at. I don't know. I know he got 2 jobs. I'm gonna just hook him up to some guys that I know that's doing it out there in the community, so he can get a job with them. That should be pretty easy. But on the same token, like the brother Bville E, his nephew's going in and out of jail. Y'all gotta use. Let me tell you something. One thing about me, KK, Moshe, all of us got these same stories. Is the basic same thing that changed our lives. The basics. We educated ourselves. All of us educated ourselves in prison, right? We found new values. We reconnected or connected with religion, right?
We left the gang alone.
No, we left the gang alone. We all got, but no, some of those things happened because I connected, and a lot of us connected with our religions while we're in the gang. I also wanted to say thank you to the Rasta communities, to the Muslim communities, to the Nation of Islam that allowed us to be in those communities while we were still in the gang to come and get the information.
Yeah.
Because a lot of people didn't let it to give us that information, knowing that we needed it the most when we were in the gang.
Yeah, and it's crazy you said that because I was one of the ones that went through it. I used to go through that. Beefing, they didn't want me down there. They ain't like I used to go through.
I didn't want to interrupt him, but he said they fed him. The NOI fed him when they knew he was still in the gang, and they fed him mentally, like even us. We were Muslim on Rikers Island. This before I turned Rasta. I was Muslim, and we used to the Bing, and just to get out the Bing we used to go into the Muslim services, and they allowed us to go in there. we weren't praying. We be in the back sitting. I think me and VI, me and Mel Cross, you know, we in the back of Muslim service. One time it was a big war going on Rikers Island with the Muslim and the Bloods, and we didn't even know it because we was in the Beacon, and they came and got us out of Muslim services like, yo, y'all gonna pop off in there. But we never would have violated. We never thought of nothing like that. But it was a big war going on. But just to have that information, just to be able to get that information from and not just them to get the Nation of Gods and Earths. You had, you know, the Resurrection Study Group, which was by a plethora of different brothers that was combining to give information to young black brothers, Spanish brothers, or whoever wanted the information in these prisons. Thank y'all for allowing us to have that, to come and get that information for us to reconnect, you know, with our religions, with our spiritual, you know, higher ups, no matter what you want to call them. You know, that was important for our growth. And
yeah,
you know,
I agree.
And you know, while we closing out, I just want to say, you know, the strength of us comes from our background is our education. It is our religious connections. We lean on that. You know what I'm saying? That helped us lead us back onto the path of doing the right thing in the community, being out here. You know what I'm saying? But that's all I gotta say. Y'all can say what y'all want to say from there, bro. You heard?
Nah, thanks, man. I mean, we could just close out right now. I think the only thing I want to say, I do know that our bros and perhaps our sisters are listening. Shout out to K Flock. I want to shout out the young bro because I'm thinking about him and his predicament right now. He's facing these RICO charges in the feds. So shout out to him and all the young brothers and sisters that's unfortunately caught up in the predicaments that they're in. But I will say this, man, if you find yourself in that situation, don't think that it's the end of the end of the world for you. Educate yourself, stay positive under those circumstances. I'm not saying that you might not go through situations in there, but if you are faced with those type of circumstances, what you should, and I advise you of, remain consistent on, is continuing to elevate yourself. You dig what I'm saying? Prepare yourself, because those gates perhaps will open back up and you will come back out here and you're going to be looking at yourself like, what did I do to prepare myself to make that transition out here? So that's all I have to say. And I want to say shout out to everybody that tuned in. Thank y'all for y'all support, man. We truly appreciate y'all. Thank y'all for tuning in to We Locked In. Y'all already know, man. I'm Moshe Canty. Mikey BKK.
Kevin KA4. Love y'all, man. Find freedom in you.
Y'all already know what it is, man. We locked in, man. Another give us some of that food, KK. Give me that food. Where that food at? Yo, salute to y'all, man. R.I.P. to VI's brothers, man. R.I.P. to all the people we lost to the gang, to the gang structure, these gangs and stuff like that, man. Peace.
Love y'all.
Y'all already know, man. We locked in. Y'all know what it is, man. Yo, hit that like button, that share button, and hit that notification bell, because y'all not going to know when we going live. I told y'all we got more interviews coming up. We got more fire for y'all, man. Y'all know, man, we locked in, man. Word up, man. We on it for 2024, you heard? Yo, peace. Let's get it.